We're only going to get up to 70.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Ethel, are we live on Facebook?
Yes, we are.
Okay. So great to see all of you in Zoom, and thank you for also being on Facebook. I'm going to ask if Ashley has time, if Ashley and Lowell and Letiza and Angela could also look over to Facebook and bring any of the questions that are asked back to the Zoom.
Of
So
course.
good to see all of you today. Going to be looking at three colors. Letiza and the brand ambassadors put together three colors: the Monte Amiata Natural Sienna, the Burnt Sienna Light, and the Amazonite Genuine, which is a very pretty color. Letiza, do you want to start?
Yes, thank you very much. Now we have launched the fourth set of 5 ml. We have the Monte Amiata Natural Sienna as a starting color, so the real natural sienna. That is Pigment Brown 7, and it's only monopigment in Series 1. And it is a low staining color, granulating color, and transparent. While if we go to the burnt sienna, we find the first one, which is the burnt sienna light. And it's a very great companion for the natural sienna. And it is a non-tanning color, non-granulating, and transparent. And going to the green, we have the Amazonite Genuine, and there is the Primatech color with a green that can match really beautiful with the Monte Amiato Natural Sienna. And it is non-tanning, non-granulating, and transparent. All the three colors are in excellent light pattern, and so you can easily remove them. You can do lifting, you can do many glazes to reach the matte tone or to have the lightest tone. So the only thing, the burnt sienna light has two pigments. There are transparent red oxide and quinacridone gold inside. So this set could be very great to paint as the title, the desert, the hills and forests. So from a very desert scene to also to some forest scene, so some fresh things with the green. So the Amazonite is here because it's more neutral, and it's a Primatech color that works very well, and is very close to Viridian. So it is a good option to Viridian, just to have something more precious and so special in your painting to add with Primatech. The other things is also that Monte Amiato Natural Sienna can be lit as a more yellowish raw sienna, because the raw sienna is tending to be red. And this is the very neutral sienna that is come from the antique lava dome that is called Monte Amiata. It is near the city of Siena, in Tuscany, in Italy. And this color can be also a good option instead of quinacridone gold and raw sienna. You can start painting from sand, trunk, any light color about light earth. And the burnt sienna light can be easily paint instead of the burnt sienna, just because it's more yellowish, and it is very good. So enjoy this session, and Giovanni can explain his matching and his things.
Thank you, Letiza.
Thank you very much.
Okay, a little zoom. Thank you, John. Okay, I'm starting with this color, and I applied my techniques for the sequence system. I started with Monte Amiata and apply on burnt sienna light. Okay. my palette in this part and check the sequencing, and after apply the bar sienna light on Monte Amiata for the dark system, and use these two color on the Amazonite shade. This is Monte Amiata, and obtain this warm green and bar sienna light, this cool green with Amazonite. And now I use this trick set on wet for check the explosion every color. This is Monte Amiata. And zoom. And very, very fast. And this is bar sienna light. It's more too fast. It's very interesting textures on wet. And the last, sorry. Is Amazonite. And obtain this text. It's very interesting to mix together. And now try to change the sequence for obtain the darken and light tone. This is the sequence with Monte Amiata and inside the Amazonite, and after the bar sienna light, obtain this shade I call light, and change the sequence. I start with bar sienna light and inside the Amazonite, and thereafter use the Monte Amiata. I obtain this dark tone, only to change the sequence. And after I try to use this photo reference is not my, is John. Thank you, John, for this photo reference in the Namibia desert. Really? Yes. Okay. It's very beautiful for the shade and for this set. And I try this sequencing. And the first I use the Monte Amiata before for the first layer, and after obtain the with bar sienna light the dark shade, and use the light, very, very light Amazonite for the sky. And I changed the sequencing in the same project. I use it for the sky, Monte Amiata, very, very, very light. I put it more zooming. And I use the bar sienna light for the first shade, very, very light. And the shade, I use the bar sienna light more strong. And these people, these people, I use the mixing of three color, these three color in the set, obtain this dark tone in sequence. For example, I show one example. I use the first bar sienna light, very strong mode. Okay, and Amazonite, and obtain this, and after Monte Amiata, and if you want more strong, another drop of Amazonite, and obtain this dark green. And I use this strong for these people. This. It's very, very dark. And it's perfect for the shadow of the people and the mountain of the dune. And the last, I use another photo reference from John. Thank you, John. Is little in a sketch mode. I use this strong color of 3-color mixing. I use the line for the dark shadows, and the reddish part I use the Bartiana light. And now apply the Monte Amiata in light mode shade in the all the dune. And obtain this effect. And after this, I use the strong green for the trees, this part. And this part of the land. And little lights, Amazonite for the sky. And this is a perfect combination for desert horizon and for this type of, for me, for this type of this, and apply another strong color if you want more strong shade, the mixes, or the reddish part with Bartiana light in the line, and obtain more. If you want, you mixes together for obtain another shade. It's very perfect set for this type of effect. Thank you, John. Thank you for your photo reference.
Oh, you're very welcome. My pleasure.
Okay.
So, hello all together. Good evening, good morning, and all over the world. And thank you to you, and thank you, Letizia. I want to say you're a fantastic couple, and I love you so much. And I play today with the colors, and I just look every time when I go to 3 colors. I love to play with 3 colors. I look what they look like for me. And when I look at these 3 colors, I just look from white. I think warm, not so much warm. And so I look at the C lab, and now I see when I click warm, that color comes. But in the C lab, it's just in the middle between warm and cold. And so I make my fab card, and you see, when I go with the Monte Amiata and mix it with the burnt sienna light, you become fantastic, warm colors. It just looks like Italian. And when you mix the burnt sienna light with the Amazonite, it's a Primatech color. So you become fantastic greens. That's look like a very earthy green, and it's going a little bit cold, like here. And then you mix it with the Monte Amiata, and now you become 3 other fantastic greens. And though I think, okay, desert and green, so I go more deeper inside, and I mix. When you mix all these 3 colors, you come to that brown. And when you go inside the colors, just go deeper. And when you just mix a little bit and play around, you see what you can make. And so in the first, I come to a desert. And in second, I think, okay, desert is not all. So you can have skin colors. And I think animals are good too. And today, I want to start with that desert image, but I want to put it in water. And so I start and we see what comes out. And I start with the I start with the Monte Amiata. And so I have the Amazonite for the water too. And I make a very light evening sky. And put in some little clouds and go inside and build some here, some buildings. And I do the sketch I do with the Friction pan. So when I go with the hot gun on it, it goes away. And I can make layers on layers, and you don't see it later. That was magic for me. I'm always make it with a pencil, with a graphite, and the graphite stays under the watercolor. When you see my mixing palette, and it's interesting for me, and I love when the color's not stained, so I can lift. I love to make liftings, and so it's very important for me to know if the colors, if you can lift it or not. And now I want to make a dry brush. But so you can go to the next artist to show, to the next brand ambassador, and we thank you so much.
Thank you, Sabina.
Sylvia, your mic is off.
Sorry, sorry about that. It was. Yeah, I was saying hello, good evening, good morning, and I use it in a botanical way. I love the desert horizons. This amazing. What I think, in fact, of these triads of the sets is that we can go from light colors to dark colors. Desert horizon, yes. And we can go from the dark to the lightest colors in every set. So we can play and paint whatever we want. So I think this is amazing. I tried here to paint autumn leaf with these colors, especially because I love Monte Amiata. I think it's the very it's a color, it's a very bright, vibrant color, and very good to put in the first layer. I love to work layer on top of the layer and the layer and layer, lots of layers. I love layering. So this is very good to be the foundation of the painting. And then burnt sienna light, it's amazing. It is a color that I can, use in whatever subject I want to paint. So I think this is very, very useful. And Amazonite, genuine. I am in Brazil, so this color is everywhere. From our coast, we have a lot of seas around here, the beaches around here, and the sea is just like this color. It's this color. So, and we have the vegetation just like this. So, to me, it's very popular, and it's it's very, very, very good. Okay, now here I'm going to explain you what I did here was first layer, Monte Amiata. It's very nice, very bright, which gave me this depth. And after, burnt sienna. And then touches of Amazonite. And then I mixed these two colors and got the dark tones. Okay. Now, what I want here is leaves not that brown, a little bit more green. So I will use, as Giovanni showed you, I will use first layer Amazonite. Sorry. And I will wash just as if we don't have time. So I won't do anything, but I will show you guys first layer, second layer, and we have to be quick here. It doesn't matter. What I want here is texture, volume. I will provide it in the end of the painting, like dark areas to have this volume. Like I can lift these colors like here, which I think it's amazing because we can work in this way. You just put the colors, find your textures, and in the end, you lift. So you have the contrast, the volume, and everything else. So I have a lot of water here. And now I will add a little bit of Monte Amiata colors. And now burnt sienna. I think that the way that the texture that we have here, it's amazing. I will put here a little bit of burnt sienna light. And, I paint with lots and lots of details, and sometimes I'm learning in these live sessions to paint faster but it's exactly what I want. It's like having those textures, and these leaves, they have their edges. It's exactly burnt sienna light, which I think is amazing. It's I don't know, I think it's a maple. I don't know, but uh, what I want to show is that this mixing will turn to be very, very pleasant because of the Amazonite shade. So see here, I don't know if the camera shows you, but the texture is exactly same texture that we can find in these leaves. It's amazing. Okay, so if you want to go to the next artist, it's okay. I will paint here during our session and hope it is ready in the end. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Sabina.
Thank you, Sylvia. Up next, we have Lo.
I could watch those leaves all day. I'm looking forward to how those turn out. They're beautiful, Sylvia.
Thank you,
They're so
Diane.
pretty. I'm excited now.
Okay.
So of the three, I have Amazonite. And so I thought it would be fun. You know, I talk a lot about pigment personality, and I thought it would be fun to explore the different sides of pigment personality. So I have a couple different kinds of paper. I have Balhong Rough Press and Arches Hot Press. This is the most textured cotton paper that I have in the studio, and this is the smoothest cotton paper that I have in the studio. So we'll start with some swatches. So when I make my swatches, I like to start by just using some nice juicy paint, and I'll tilt my paper. So first I can see how it explodes, how it, you know, sort of does or does not interact with the water immediately. And then I can see how it's going to flow if I tilt, and I get a nice gradient of color. I'm going to pick up my excess water, and then I'm going to let it dry just a little bit, and I'll come back and put a drop of water to explore more how it's going to interact, and I'll show you that in a second. So we'll do the same thing with the hot press. So this one is dry enough that I can add just a little water to the corner. I'm going to tilt, I'm kind of going to fetch the pigment. And this is just my way of kind of seeing the different ways when I have a new color in my hand, the different ways it's going to interact with the water. So anytime I make swatches and I post them, this is what I'm doing. And it just gives me an idea, again, these different sides of the pigment personality. And so I'll do the same thing on my hot press little piece. And we'll let those dry. But you can already, you know, kind of see the differences just by adding the water, you know, the kind of different aspects of personality I can bring out. So second, I'm going to show you some interactions. So I didn't have burnt sienna light, but it's basically an iron oxide mixed with a little bit of quinacridone burnt orange. So I did something similar. I mixed earthy light red, which is also a kind of red oxide, and I mixed it with a little bit of the PO48, the quinacridone burnt orange, just to kind of get something similar in character. So let's play with the Amazonite on the different pieces of paper with paints of very different character. So first I've got my Amazonite, and I'll come back to my Bao rough press. This paper, I always said I didn't have a favorite paper, but I have to say that this one is really, really growing on me. I bought quite a few full sheets of it actually, and I'm just having a great time. It just has a really nice texture to it. So I'm just going to add some water and let those guys kind of mingle and dry. And now I'm going to take back to my Amazonite. I'm going to see how it interacts with green gold. So I have this oxide, mixed with the quinacridone burnt orange. So a kind of heavy granulating color. And now I'm going to say, well, how does it interact if I put down something really, really zingy? So just side by side, and I'll add some water to see. And I'll just kind of wait and see what happens. I could also do kind of a more full strength without all that water side by side and see what they do. And while these kind of dry and do their thing, I'll come back to my hot press piece and do pretty much the same thing. So now it's the Amazonite with that green gold, nice transparent thingy. So just pigments of very different personalities, and seeing how they interact with more water, with less water, on different kinds of paper. It's one of my favorite ways to get to know these pigments. So these will take a little bit to dry and for all the personality to come out. And while we wait for that, I can skip ahead a little to ones that I did earlier today while we wait for the water and the pigments to do its work. And so I'll come a little bit closer. Hold on while I adjust my focus here. So this is on the Bao rough press. And you can see the Amazonite with the green gold, how they interact differently when I add different amounts of water, and that texture that I get right there. I love that. I would definitely take that and try to recreate that in my larger pieces of work. And look what just a pretty mix when I take the iron oxide. So again, something similar to the burnt sienna light, not exactly, but I tried to mimic it a little bit. And the textures that I'm getting there are just really pretty on the rough press. And look at the different character with the hot press. I'm kind of getting these beautiful blooms and just ways, it's a little bit washed out, but ways that these are playing. And so that's just sort of one idea when you get something new in your hand. Mix the pigments, let them kind of interact, see what's happening, add water, use different kinds of paper, and you can see already, some of the fun stuff that's happening on some of these swatches. So thank you very, very much.
Thank you, Lowell.
Up next, we welcome Beznik.
Hello, Beznik.
Hi, Beznik.
Your mic is off, Beznik.
You hear me now?
Yes.
Wicked.
Great. Okay, great. Hi, everyone. How are you doing today? I hope everyone is doing great. I just did some mixes of the two beautiful colors, burnt sienna light and Monte Amiata, and just tried this very expressive, very fast color and mixed with lunar black. Tonight I don't have the third color. Sorry for that. So instead of that, I try to do some other mixes. I will be swatching as well these two. So maybe if someone wants to see the difference, let's share. I might not do the proper way because these 2 days I feel very bad. I have some temperature and dizziness. So pardon me if I do something wrong tonight. I will mix both of these slightly with lunar blacks. Let's see how they are going to react with the lunar black. Suppose they're gonna make very nice thing.
Beznik, what surface is your portrait on?
What surface? What?
What surface is your portrait on? Your sample portrait?
Ah, I just did it now. It's a block of bong. This paper,
Thank
hot
you.
press, satin. It's very flat. So I did it very fast. So okay, there. It's fast. Let's play a little bit more color. Now let's do the magic with lunar black. Always does the magic, the beauty of granulation mixed with these two beautiful colors. Let's see what it is going to happen. It always happens something beautiful, and we had the score. So maybe we go further with another artist. I will play with this. I want to create something like tree, and here some land-looking tree, and I will probably add more of Monte Amiata natural sienna here. And also I will try to finish a little bit, touching up the portrait with lunar black. Thank you so much for watching.
Thank you.
We welcome Angela.
Hi, my friends. Today, this triad, I love it. I don't know, if I had to choose one, it's like choosing between your children. You cannot. So I love them all. This is the swatching I've done. Don't know if you can see it well. Yeah. Okay. Here, this is a granulating color. This is the burnt sienna light. As you can see with the inclination, it started granulating. This is the Monte Amiata, a lovely, lovely yellow that, as someone said, it is very much color of Italy. And Amazonite, the color of Brazil. I've been to the Turkish, yeah, the La Costa Turquesa, I think it's called. And it's really this color. It's a beautiful coast near Paraty and all those parts. So, and I mixed the colors like Amazonite with Monte Amiata, and you get these gorgeous greens. It's a little bit of granulation, which is an effect I like. Monte Amiata with burnt sienna light. Also, you get a little bit of granulation. Well, this paper doesn't granulate very much. This is soft press. It's more difficult to get granulation. But anyway, the mix is beautiful. And this is burnt sienna light with amazonite and burnt sienna light. So after that, I tried to paint a scene of the desert. Can you see that it's the desert? It's, oops, what did I do? No, I did something here, which I shouldn't have done. But the good thing about these colors is that they lift very well. I will have to make a few birds there. That's always the solution. Okay, so here on top, I used the burnt sienna light for a little bit of, you know, the sunset hue. And it's beautiful. This is a hot press paper, so it's different. This flows much more. And to continue with the orangey color of the sky, down near the horizon, I painted it more in yellow, and the sun in yellow. As you can see, the circle of the sun. And these are some, yeah, in a bit, you know, a little bit abstract, but also realistic. There are some rows of mountain, and here there is some vegetation. And of course, some cactus, because what would the desert be? Especially the desert in Mexico. Not all the deserts, like Sahara Desert is different. Or like Giovanni painted Namibia. This is different sort of desert. But here it's a desert of Mexico, I suppose, yeah. And so these are all liftings I did. I did liftings for these sort of cactus, and then I can make the contours, like painting like in a bit of negative. So you can see more the shapes of the cactus.
That's very good, Angela. It's a very good idea with the liftings because it looks like three-dimensional.
Yeah, that's true. And you see, it's funny. I will show you now how I can do the lifting. Let's say that here I want a long cactus like that one.
Yes.
Maybe now it won't lift so well because it's a little bit dry, but you see that it lifts quite well. First, I lifted, and then I lifted it because I wasn't sure the color would show. You see, it's almost white. Not white, but very much. And I paint a mix with a mix of the, can you see? Yeah. The Amazonite with the sienna, and make this mix for the cactus. And darker at the bottom, less water in the brush, so it will be thicker. See, for the base of the cactus. And now here we can give a little bit more darker tone. How about if we mix the three of them? If we mix the three of them, it's also a nice mixture. This is quite dark, and with a little bit of Monte Amiata. Here the top part. Okay, and now I will use some water here. I will splash some water, which I didn't do before. But here in the cactus, if I incline it, it will run down and it will have different shapes. But the cactus needs some arms. Shall we give it some arms?
So that is a special Daniel Smith cactus.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. Here, this cactus.
Yeah.
This one has 4 arms, so I need another arm. Haha. I will do another arm for Daniel Smith. Absolutely.
The Primatech cactus.
Excuse me?
The Primatech cactus.
Exactly. Yeah, because Amazonite is a primatech. Here I can, make the shape a little bit more. And I wanted to do something, but I'm not sure if I will dare. Shall I dare?
Oh dear.
I want to do something very silly, which is, can you see the tube? Well, I want to paint directly from the tube to make some darks here. What will happen? I don't know. We will find out. Oh, it's not the first time I'm doing this. Sometimes there's a good result, sometimes not. But let me see. It's a bit risky to do it just when you are online. But I needed some darks here.
What kind of color you use now?
Amazonite.
Ah,
This is pure Amazonite. It is really darker. I couldn't get it dark enough. So pure from the tube, yes. And of course, this is a stone. And I will use water, definitely. Now the stone. Here there is something happened. There is granulation. So.
what a great idea.
Because I couldn't get it darker, I thought I would use it pure. See what happens. And now water. I don't know if it will lift so thick. We'll see. Okay, wish me good luck. Now, some water. Here the color opens downwards. And what if we incline it the other way? It will run wherever it's wet, I imagine.
Angela, before you finish up, Judy in Facebook wants to see your swatches again, as do we all.
Yes, this one.
Thank you.
These ones.
What's that? The swatches you had. Beautiful. I was saying in the chat, it looks like rust with a patina.
Oh yes, especially the Monte Amiata and Amazonite, right?
Yes, so good. It's beautiful.
Yeah, definitely. It reminds me of the colors that what's his name, the Scottish painter, Angus McEwen uses.
Yes, Angus.
Angus, yeah.
Yeah. So I don't think it does what I wanted it to do, but that's what happens when you do things differently. But it doesn't matter.
Angela, your darks gave that a lot more dynamics.
Definitely, because now they are less, let's say, less formal. But yeah, they have texture. I was going to do that with surrounding the cactus. I mean, painting with the tube, the outline of the cactus, but that might be a bit too much. Okay, something like that, you know. It is not finished because if I leave it, that's the beauty of these colors. You leave them alone, you incline the board, and things will happen. Things will start to happen. And I love that about them. Now with this spray, now things are happening. Look. Yes, more water always. Oh, I like those things happening. And I can still do liftings when, in a while, not now that it's too wet, but when it dries a little bit, I can lift some color and get more cactus or more whatever, more stones or just more texture.
Wonderful.
You cannot see the bottom. Now, the bottom, right? See how the color runs and makes its own thing. Here especially, there's a lot of color here. And I think I've achieved what I wanted, which is a depth. You know, the things in the foreground, darker, and then in the background, more misty. So you see, you have to do things, to dare to do things, and then if the result is not great, then it's not great. Thank you.
Very nice, Angela.
Thank you, dear. Also yours. Very nice.
Thank you.
And everybody's. I love all your works.
Sylvia's leaves are really nice.
Oh, yes.
Thank you. Thank you, dear.
Yes, very different from the first one, but very beautiful.
Yeah. That's the idea.
And we welcome David. David's painted along again. There you
With the
go.
dot card.
All right.
Oh, wow.
That's
Nice.
the leaf, right? Yeah.
Hmm.
Wonderful.
Very nice.
Oh, Diane too. Here.
Looks like Erkin's got something too.
Okay.
Erkin. Cancel on Erkin.
Where's Erkin's?
Oh, look at that desert. I like that desert scene. Beautiful. Very nice.
Okay, there's Erkin swatching.
There it is.
Yes, this is my swatch. Actually, I don't have these beautiful three colors, but I used watercolor sheets, watercolor dots.
Dot card, it's perfect.
Yeah, that
Yes, and made this.
Oh, perfect.
Very
Okay.
nice.
Nice. Andesite and the burnt sienna light.
Wow.
Yes.
And to get a nice dark there. And I put a little queen gold in there for the Monte.
Nice job, everyone.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Very
nice.
Someone
Great
in the
job.
chat, sorry, someone in the chat had asked about Amazonite versus Viridian. So I wanted to point out that I tested those on the hot press and the rough press in case I don't remember who asked, but I saw it come through. So there you go.
1 is 2. I'm gonna insert Anna's. And Anna's output today
Well, part of it I have Laurel and Beznik and Giovanni's, but I can only fit two. There's Angela.
Yes.
And it's still working the water, Angela.
Wonderful.
Very nice.
And I'm unfinished with Sylvia's leaf, which is beautiful, her leaves. Thank you all. It was
Very good,
wonderful.
Thank you, everybody. That was great.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everybody, for joining. Thank you, everybody, for showing your artwork.
See you all tomorrow.
Bye. See you all
Thank you
tomorrow.
all.
Thank you very much.
Thank
See you
you.
tomorrow.